call. It is your game. It is your creation.
Oh my God, you're so indubious.
You've got to have an optimal theory for playing the game.
Whatever you focus upon becomes your truth.
How you doing, sir?
Doing great, man.
Good.
Doing super good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. You look like you're doing good.
I feel like I'm doing good.
You look happy, man.
I am very happy. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild on this side. Yeah.
Something I wanted to say is what I did after I did my first Iboga retreat is I went and recorded a podcast right after because I got so tired of telling everyone the story over and over again that literally people would be like, what was that like? I'd be like, here's the podcast.
Yeah.
And so I thought that would be a cool thing to mention that, you know, you could kind of recount your story a little bit to, you know, and this could be something you could share with people.
Yeah. I definitely, you know, like preached from the mountain when I got home. And now when people ask me about it, I'm like, it was good. It was hard, but it was good. And then I'll be like, you know, like I've told, I'm super excited to talk to you about it, but I've told my friends that, you know, and just people that asked about it, like, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
And the story got shorter and shorter and shorter. Unless it was somebody I knew needed to hear all the details. Cause, you know, I think I probably already have 2 or 3 friends of mine going up.
Yeah.
That already booked some sessions, you know.
Nice.
Or booked a retreat with your brother.
Yeah.
Which is good. Because it's funny how on the other side of it, and in no way is it judgmental or anything, but I'm like, I'll just be talking to friends or somebody I know and be like, you need a Iboga. Like, really, I'm like, dude, you need a Iboga. And half of them are like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm scared.
Yeah.
And my response to that is always, you know, what's scarier to me is living the rest of your life with this cancer inside or this darkness or all these things that you might know that you have. That's what you're scared of.
Yeah.
You're choosing to go through life holding on to those things.
Yeah.
When you have an option to just go get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that was something that I was definitely skeptical about before I went in, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that trips me out.
Which
like how many people willingly want to hold on to that stuff. It's like comfort. It's like a comfort blanket, people's dysfunction, you know?
Yeah, and they don't want to face it. I understand not wanting to face the things that they know that they have. I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, getting rid of it is nice. You know, your brother described it as, you know, a million little construction workers with jackhammers and chisels and picks.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what? Okay. And then it happened. And I was like, yeah, it's real, man. They go to work. Like they
wreck shop, dude.
Every nook and cranny from head to toe. And they bag it up and they evaporate.
Yeah. It feels
you know?
like just like you're getting wrung out of every impurity, like to the last drop, like full body detox, man.
Yeah, that was wild. That was definitely so I wasn't skeptical. I just didn't know what to expect. And then when I was in it, I was 100% skeptical. I was like, at one point, I was like, fuck Evan, fuck Spencer. I paid this motherfucker to make me go crazy.
Yeah.
Evan sent me to this fucking these motherfuckers. You know, I was just like,
yeah, no, your mind, my mind did that same thing.
I couldn't. I'm like, I can't believe these motherfuckers. And then on the rest day, it was just like clouds parted. You know, the sun is brighter. I'm shining golden. Everybody there is beautiful. I never felt so much love. I've never felt so much like self-fulfilling love. You know, it was just like this. It was just like it was like a for once type of thing. It was like, oh, this is the first time in my life where I'm completely happy and fulfilled with just being here on Earth right now. And it was fucking overwhelming. Like, overwhelming is an understatement, right? And I think one of the things that I'm not struggling with now is that that's such a powerful feeling that now that things are getting back to normal, you know, because even the 4 weeks after I got back, because I think we're on 4 or 5 weeks now. Even the first 2 to 3 weeks when I got back, bro, I was fucking Superman. Like Superman. And I still am. I still feel a lot better, but I still, now real life is getting back to normal. And like, I'm like, when we talked about being vigilant on what you let back into your body and your brain, like, I get it now. And it's just some of those superpowers wore off, and I was like, no, I want them back, you know, but they still left me with, you know, even if I have a little anxiety, or I didn't drink enough water, or I didn't get enough sleep because my kid is teething or whatever, even if there's that feeling of not feeling great, there's an overlying feeling that I'm okay. Like I'm still happy, you know, and I just accept those things. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I don't feel that great this morning. And it's so much easier to shake off, and it's so much easier to see past, and it's so much easier to stop the wheels from turning. Where before I woke up every day and felt like shit. Whether I drank water, ate good food, worked out, I woke up every single day, and it took me 2 to 3 hours to get rid of my anxiety and get on with my day. You know, I got home from Iboga, and we're probably cutting way ahead at this point, but I got home and I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock, waking up at 5:30. Like, with the
way it's supposed to be, man.
Huh?
The way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, with just a big smile on my face. And it's so crazy, because I always used to look at my daughter and be jealous, and look at my son and be jealous, and be like, God, their brain, I want their brain. I want that brain. Like, how do I wake up happy? And once I got back from the retreat, I wake up happy. I wake up as happy and as like ready for my day as my 4-year-old, usually, especially for the first 2 to 3 weeks. And now it's like, oh, okay, this isn't going to do everything for me forever. You know, and just my wishful thinking of like, oh, cool, I'm invincible now. But still, you know, that's such a big change. I used to go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. It used to take me hour, maybe 2 hours to go to bed. And it would take me about an hour to 2 hours to get up, take a shower, go to workout, like just do all the things, breath work, just to feel baseline. You know, if I feel a little janky in the morning now, it does not take me all these checklists. It just takes me to get up and maybe eat some food and drink some water, and you know, I'm good. So yeah, it really is a rebirth, you know, and it kind of like gave me that baby brain that I was so jealous of. You know, I feel like it just smoothed out my brain, and now I have the opportunity to make those new pathways.
So let's do just a brief introduction, because we're already into it. Everyone, we got Jared Watson from Dirty Heads here. Good to see you, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome to have you back. And so to give all the listeners just a little bit of a backstory, people who didn't listen to the first episode that we did with Jared, in my first Iboga retreat, the Iboga spirit told me specifically to reach out to Jared. It said, hey, reach out to Jared Watson from Dirty Heads. And I said, okay, seems a little bit awkward, but I'm going to do it. And then I found Jared through a friend, Christian, and sent him an email. And he was like, yo, I'm totally down. And since then, you have gone and done your first Iboga retreat with Skip.
Yes.
And we haven't talked since. And so the whole world and I get to get the download of what that was like for you. You want to start from the beginning?
Yeah. And it's nice because now I can be completely honest with the whole story, which is great. So I think the beginning of this whole story was I'd been sober for 8 years and done really well. There was probably 6 years of those 8 where I could work at a bar. I could go into a liquor store. I could do whatever test you wanted to test me. I had no problem. You could put a table full of pills in front of me, a bunch of booze, and it just was gone. Right. I'd kind of beaten it in my mind. And about a year ago, that changed. Things just started coming up, and I chalked it up to the fact that I was going to have another child. I chalked it up to the fact that we had a new album coming out. I chalked it up to all these things. Mm-hmm. And I relapsed, started drinking again, started taking Norcos again. It was a very responsible relapse. It wasn't, foot to the floor, like just no breaks. It was a lot more mild.
I didn't know you had started drinking again.
Right. Nobody did.
So it was totally secret.
But it wasn't like, the trains off the tracks with no breaks. And, I was a little bit more mindful of it, but it wasn't great. I was still drinking. And
so you were hiding that from everybody?
Other than my partner. I don't hide anything from my partner because I think that's pretty important. But yeah, everybody, the band, my friends, my family, other than my partner, I said, "Hey man, I'm back and I'm struggling and I'll figure it out." And she said, I know you'll figure it out. And I knew I would figure it out. I just didn't know how long it was going to take me, but this wasn't a plan to, get back on everything forever. Right. And then it started slowly spiraling. And I was getting really scared, cause I couldn't control it at that point, It was still a little bit more under control, but it was still not leading in a path that was good. And I was getting really depressed and, ton of anxiety and shame. And on top of that, I just felt like something was wrong. And that's why I started using. But even when I was using it, wasn't fixing anything, which it never does. But
sure, it never does.
There was just it was more than that, right? I'm like, this something is up, because even these pills and this booze, I almost couldn't get a break. Like, and that was the whole point of it, And that's right about the middle of that, I got your email. And right about the middle of that is when I was like, I need to do something extremely drastic.
Yeah.
In my life to change this. And so I read about Iboga after you'd hit me up, and I did some research, and I was like, well, obviously that's the reason he's reaching out to me, because I need this. This is maybe this big drastic thing that I'm going to go do. And it took a while. The hard thing was, once it took a while to like, I tried to get clean a bunch of times, and then, just between work, and it took me another probably 6 months to get up to see your brother. Yeah. But by the time I got to your brother, I was not in a good place. Just mentally, physically, not in a good place, and I needed it. And I was so fucking excited to be up there. And I was really excited because I knew something was going to change. Yeah. You had asked me if I wanted to listen to your podcast. I said no. I didn't want to read about it. Yeah. I didn't want to. I know how much I can get in my head. So I knew that having no expectations.
You seemed a little scared going into it, like a little bit,
right?
Mentally intimidated.
Yeah, and I didn't want to compare. That's happened to me with psychedelics before. Is my friends or whoever has told me their journey, and then I go, okay, well that's the journey I'm going to have, and then when I don't, it upsets me. Sure, So I got up there and met your brother. He's fantastic. Met his wife. It's fantastic. I have no idea what I'm getting into. Have some dinner. I'm sitting with these other people, and it's funny because I immediately judged these other people. Sure. Sitting in his house, I walk in, I'm in a bad place, but I'm immediately judging them. Mm-hmm. What am I doing here? I don't need this. These people need this. I don't need this. What is that guy here for? What is she here for? What are all these damaged people here for?
Yeah.
I'm like, just complete asshole, right? I'm like, what am I? And then I was like, just in a bad fucking way. And cut, I rest, I eat dinner and rest, and cut to the night that we're going to do it. I'm fucking excited, man. I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm.
And your brother starts telling us the story, starts telling us about Bwiti and some of their philosophy and, the ways they think. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every part of it. I'm so excited. So we start, and he puts the music on. And that was the first thing where, like, so he gives me some medicine, and the music might have already been on, but I noticed the music and I was like, huh, this is really interesting music. Like, this is extremely interesting music. But I'm like, not thinking anything of it. Maybe we just listen to music for a little while and that's what we got going on. And he gives me the medicine, and you sit there and chat.
How did you like the medicine? How did it taste to you?
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Just to kind of taste like what you'd think like sawdust tastes like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was interesting. It's just like a spoonful of like sand or like sawdust or something,
Gross dirt. Yeah.
What's that?
It just tastes to me like gross dirt, bitter dirt.
Yeah. A little bitter. And that it was fine. And I started feeling it, and then, the kind of, oh shit, okay, here we go. Like, I don't know what's going on. I lay down, and the music's still going, and it's fucking loud. And I'm like, this fucking music. I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're in it. And a fucking Mack truck, dude. A Mack truck, like just as hard as you could get hit, this Iboga grabbed a hold of me and fucking spanked me from the minute that I went in to the hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of when I finally got done. But it was your brother, made a joke later that he was an exorcism, because there was nothing nice about my experience, and I didn't understand, and it was dark, as dark as I could possibly think. I didn't think it could get that dark.
Yeah.
And that was scary.
Yeah.
Really scary. And it didn't stop for a long time. And then the music kept going. And then I was like, and at one point in the middle of the night, I'm like, this motherfucker Evan got me up here. His fucking brother's got this fucking hat on, and he's fucking shit. And there's this fucking music that he will not turn off. And at one point, I think all of us were like, yo, can we just take a break from the music? And Skip was like, no, the medicine doesn't work without the music.
It's a drill, man. It's getting deep in there. The music is pure magic.
It really is. And I absolutely love it now. But yeah, I'm like, this fucking, what am I doing? Big mistake. Made a big mistake. I'm talking to Spencer, man, I'm seeing some really dark shit, really evil shit. And he's like, I understand. And I'm like, no, you don't. And he's like, oh, I do. And he's like, just trust the medicine. And, kept saying, just trust the medicine. And I'm like, fuck this guy. I was like upset.
Yeah.
And it dragged me through the fucking dirt, man. It took me to the depths. It took me to the darkest, deepest fucking places my mind could have possibly gone. And I'm like, this is a fucking trauma in itself. What am I doing here? I'm here for my traumas, and on top of it, this is giving me another trauma. This is going to help me. This is going to make it worse, right?
Right.
And boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, the most challenging thing I've ever done. I'm extremely proud of myself for sticking it out and not quitting. I wanted to quit a million times.
Yeah.
While this wonderful woman next to me was just having a blast, laughing, talking to her son. And I'm like, fuck, it's fuck. Why can't I have that?
Yeah.
So I always tell everybody, don't compare your journey to mine, because it might not be that. Don't be scared because I had a scary situation, right? Sure. It's all different. And like I said, I was in a bad way when I got there.
Yeah.
But what Iboga was doing was showing me basically what I had been doing to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like exactly showing, it was just showing me really dark things. It was like a horror movie. I was seeing demons and death and murder and war and all of these things, like a very vivid fucking movie of,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't stop. And I'm like, and I kept, and eventually I just gave up and was like, all right, I got to watch this shit.
Yeah.
And my stomach hurt and my arms hurt. And it was just like ripping everything out of me, you know, and Spencer kept saying it's getting everything out of you. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. This is not how this is supposed to be. And he's like, no, this is probably how it's not probably, this is how it's supposed to be for you. If this is what's happening, the medicine doesn't
Iboga
lie.
doesn't play around. There's no mistakes.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, I only deal in facts. The medicine only deals in truths and facts. I'm like, you're a fucking liar. This whole thing's fucking batshit. This is woo woo. At this point, I'm like, fuck, this is insane. But no, it was showing me, you know, and it showed me a lot of repressed stuff that I had from my childhood. So I never had memories of my childhood up until about 12-ish or something, right? I just thought, but I knew my parents were good parents.
And
So I didn't think it was
that's a typical thing with childhood trauma, is that your brain just blocks it all off.
Yeah, and I knew that, right? I've done enough therapy and talk therapy and all this stuff, but I knew that my parents were good people, and I knew it probably wasn't something that they had done. So I just chalked it up to like smoking weed and drinking, and I just didn't have a good memory, right?
Sure.
Wrong. It was so many things that I didn't know about because I had repressed them. And my childhood wasn't that great, and it wasn't that fun. You know, I was this extremely sensitive, extremely creative, really, my nature was very sensitive.
Yeah.
Cried a lot, felt things a lot, you know, whether they were really good or really bad. And I was basically thrown in a situation to where that was the worst way that you could be, you know, just taught that that's not how you're supposed to be, and was around a lot of kids that were the exact opposite of that.
Sure.
And like a ton of bullying, physical, mental. And I thought that's normal, and it gives me tough skin. And that's what happens when you're the younger brother, when you're this, when you're that, when you hang out with these guys. No, it was, you know, really, really brutal for a really long time. And when you're a little 5-year-old guy, you're just this little sensitive dude.
Yeah.
You don't know how to handle it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know how to navigate it. I didn't know how to deal with it. So you start making coping mechanisms. You know, you start people pleasing, you start lying, you start, you know, putting everybody else's feelings and their acceptance in front of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd done that for 40 years. And I didn't know how poisonous that was.
Yeah.
And Iboga showed me how poisonous it was. And then it resolved it for me. It made me come to terms with it. It didn't even make me come to terms with it. When your brother says this is the ultimate hold my beer psychedelic, it just resolved it for me. It didn't like draw out a big long thing or tell me some big, huge, long message. And like, it's not there anymore. It happened to me, you know, and there's multiple things. There was a couple things that had happened in my childhood that I was like, oh, fuck. But it happened to me, but it's no longer a part of me. Before, it was living in me. And I just kept stacking and filling with this. So say the lies and people pleasing and all these other things is the darkness, right?
Yeah.
That was the darkness is showing me. I kept just
cramming it in.
Filling. I just kept doing it every day and every day and every day and every day. It would just, eventually I couldn't push it. I couldn't find anywhere to put it. Right. Yeah. And I think that's why I relapsed. And that's why my soul was so like, you have to do something drastic. My soul was making me figure it out. I was just full and it was spilling out. Iboga went in, got rid of it, and violently ripped it out of my body. the lightness and the calm in my mind is one, it's irreplaceable. It's not, it has no price. Like, I would do that again every 100 times, 100-fold, even if it was worse, even if they said, you know what you just did and how you tell everybody was the hardest thing you've ever done. And I've had surgeries. I had a surfboard in my fucking mouth while I'm getting hundreds of stitches. I've been in, I know pain.
Yeah.
I'm familiar. I'm friends with pain. I can deal with pain. I've sat for very long tattoo sessions. I've had friends die. I know pain and I know suffering. I've toured for a very long time and not very nice situations. I know pain and I know suffering. This was worse. This was harder, and I would do it again 100 times.
Yeah, same way, bro. Same way for me.
It's priceless. It's just fucking priceless. It's a miracle medicine. It really is. And I can't thank you very much. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank your brother enough for getting me up there and doing it, because it's hard. It makes me sad. It's hard to go through life, and it makes me sad when I look to other people, not in a terrible way, but it's hard to go through life without being able to turn your mind off. Just the fucking hamster wheel,
bro, all
day.
Everybody
from when
knows
I
the
woke up
too.
To when I went to bed, just the hamster wheel, or the circus was just fucking high speed octane fucking hamster wheel.
It's brutal
all fucking day. And now on the other side of them, like, oh, how did you live like that, buddy? And I hugged my little 5-year-old Jared, and I hugged my little 8-year-old Jared, and I hugged my little 12-year-old Jared, and 16 and 18 and 30 and 35 and 40. And we're all fucking buddies now.
Yeah.
But it took me standing up or not even standing up, doing Iboga and just accepting all these things and accepting my nature and accepting who I am and accepting what happened and being okay with everything. And I could say, man, I wish I would have done Iboga when I was 16 or 18. Well, I didn't. And I love that outlook that Iboga gave me, and the outlook that the Bwiti has is, it didn't happen to me. It happened to me now.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
And it's meant to be that way too, bro.
I'm not going to think about the future. I'm going to think about what's happening right now. And I could never do that. You could have given me a million books about how to live in the now, how to live in the present, meditate, all that shit. No, I couldn't do it. I tried. Trust me, I tried. I tried breath work. I tried self-help. I tried meditation. I tried yoga. I tried I tried.
Yeah. Seeking that peace.
Just did it.
Yeah.
But people might hear this and go, oh, that's the easy way out. It's not easy.
Well, it puts you back into your life, and you get back into your life, and although it's so much easier and things have been shifted so much, and you've been given a window into what it's like to truly have that peace and presence, you can still let all that shit go right back to the way that it was. So it takes actual effort on your part, but it makes it so much easier and gives you such a leg up on it. And it's like, it really is the closest thing to a magic pill, but you still have to do it. There's no way out other than you doing it.
You have to do the work. You're right. It's a gift. It's a gift, but it is a very fleeting gift if you go back to your old ways.
Yeah.
Because like I said, like now that the superpowers have worn off, I can see where I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. Don't start doing that.
And then you'll start stuffing all the same shit back in.
I didn't notice that I started doing. And I'll be like, oh man, why don't I feel that great again? Oh, well, yesterday I did all those things. Like when I got home, I was like, we're getting rid of the TVs. We're fucking, I wanted to just clean everything. But so it resolved a lot of childhood things for me that first night.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I'm an addict and the reason why I treated myself that way. And, we got done and I was really relieved to not hear the music anymore.
Yeah.
And I was really relieved to go lay down in my bed in my, and just rest. And I went to try and rest. I wasn't done.
Yeah.
I was not done. It was a whole nother 4 or 5 hours of just as intense.
And the music's still in there, bro.
Oh, dude, when the generator, like a helicopter would come by and it'd sound like the music, the generator would go. And so it was another like full heavy day of not very pleasant, journey and visions and things. And, then I finally, I think, got to rest that night. And, the next day, the rest day, I didn't know what to think. I thought I was just stuck. I was schizophrenic. I was broke. I was this, I was that. Your brother tells me to have a banana. And I'm like, fuck this guy, a fucking banana. I'm like, bro, you don't get what is going. And your brother was like, God damn it, Jared. Like, I feel like I probably gave him like the run for his money. He's just like, but I'm freaking out. This is really, really intense for me.
Yeah.
And he's like, just fucking relax. I'm like, I cannot relax. There's demons in my fucking head that are like literally screaming at me. And like, bro, I'm this is not okay. Have a banana. It made me so furious at this fucking guy to give me a banana. And he said, I ate the banana. Everything just mellowed out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I only deal in truth, man. Everything you think that's woo-woo, everything that you think is going to be bullshit, you'll see. And I'm like, banana, bullshit. Eat the banana. Feel better. Feel manageable. I'm like, okay, now I can relax and get some rest. Yeah. Had a couple bananas and they worked. They worked great immediately. Yeah. I'm like, bananas are my best friend. I would go to him and I was like, I want 12 bananas. He's like, pump the brakes. You still you still need to let the medicine do the work.
So for the people listening that don't know what we're talking about, bananas are the one thing that essentially turn off the medicine in your body, which I've found that to be such an interesting reality. Yeah. Like, if you could pick one thing that's everywhere, it's just like Iboga gets to just pick what it wants. Okay, a banana. Boom.
Yeah. Such a nice, mellow thing.
Yeah.
I'm just going through like the 7 levels of hell, and this cute little banana comes up and I eat it. Like,
and it works.
It worked great.
Yeah.
I got a breath. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I think I'm done. I don't know if I can do another night of that. Let's just get some rest, Jared, and we'll figure it out. And when I was in my room, I was dealing with a lot of shit. That's kind of when I dealt with everything. The first, the night, I didn't really understand what was going on. Sure. Once I got to my room is really when I started dealing with.
And you're still having visions?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nothing stopped. But that's where a lot of the work got done. Like mainly the majority of the work got done.
Yeah.
What I realized is that I had been taught to hate myself. I have been given no tools for self-compassion or self-love. I got it externally. That's probably why I'm in a band, right? I got it from my fans. Yep. I got it from my partner, my friends, my family. I just want everybody to love me because that's the only way that I get love, because I don't love myself. And I always thought that, I do. No, I did not. No, 100% did not. And this might not be the greatest idea for everybody out there, but I stared in the mirror for like an hour. And you're not tripping. The nice thing about Iboga is you're not tripping balls when you open your eyes. Yeah. If you need a break, you can take your eye mask off and stare at a candle. Yeah. And you're there. You're fine. It's when you close your eyes it starts working. So you're not just like psilocybin or LSD or something where you're in it. Yeah. You can take a break. So I'm staring at myself in the mirror. And you're not dripping and, it's not fucking weird. I'm just staring at myself in the mirror. And at first I feel an immense amount of hatred. I'm like angry and just so much. And I'm so furious. And that gets dealt with, and then an overwhelming sense of self-love for the first time in 40 years. I look at my teeth that aren't great, that are crooked and chipped. I look at my ears that I think are weird. I look at my my wrinkles. I'm looking at everything, and it's just fucking awesome. I start loving every single flaw, and I start accepting they're not even flaws. That's who I am. That's what I look like. I used to have a mirror face. I think a lot of people have a mirror face. When you walk by the mirror and you like give your best angle, or you do something because that's how you want other people to see you.
Sure.
I'm looking at myself and how just no mirror face, no nothing. And I love myself. I'm like, I fucking love this guy. I love every version of this guy. It was amazing, the first time. And that was it was beautiful, man, and that was like kind of a turning point. And I think I got some rest and woke up the next day, and fucking hell, bro, this is a trip. This gets really cool. But one, I'd never felt better in my whole life. No drug, no amount of sex or whatever. They're just
achievement.
You find these combinations of a pill and a glass of wine and an orgasm is like perfect euphoria and all that. It was just not overwhelming, but just this perfect sense of fulfillment, right? Just being happy with myself and being happy to be alive. It was beautiful. It was, one of the most beautiful feelings I've ever felt in my life. And it was so real and it was so true. But I'm and I go and I lay in the sun and my skin is golden. It's fucking glowing because everything's so bright. The flowers are bright. The grass is bright. You still have the medicine in you. So you're like, whoa. It was just a great day. It was one of the greatest days I've ever had. The other people that I had judged right when I got there, fucking beautiful people. Everybody there was amazing. We go on a walk. It's cool. It was just such a great day. And it's the Iboga starts telling me like, hey man, one more night. And I'm like, yeah, one more night. I'm going to stick around. Cause I packed my shit as soon as I could stand up and move around. I packed all my shit that night before and was like, I'm fucking leaving in the morning. I'm going to the airport. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going home. And there's no way you can get me to do this again. And the next day comes around and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to for sure do this again. Right. But the coolest thing, this is just a fun little side note. I woke up I think I woke up in the morning after finally getting some sleep or some rest. I don't even know if I could sleep, but I at least like kind of was able to rest.
Yeah.
But my mind was still going when I was awake or when I had my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I slept for a little moment and I opened my eyes and there was an audible pop. There was an audible pop in my brain. I heard it in my ears. And I'm like, huh? And as soon as that popped, everything in my mind, all the whole circus, all the hamster wheels, everything gone. And and it scares the shit out of me. There's no thoughts. There's no visions. There's no colors. There's no nothing. Everything in my mind is calm and empty, vast, vast, vast emptiness. And I fucking scares the shit out of me. And I'm like, what? I take a big breath and I close my eyes and it's just deep and open and calm. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm like testing. I'm like, what is going on? There's nothing in my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, wait a second. So I sit there and I can not think. Like this is some like master meditator shit. Like people have been meditating their whole lives to get to this point. Absolutely nothing. And I looked at my phone and it was like 11 or something or not. Can't remember what time it was. And I put on a timer or I just remembered the time and I sat there for 2 hours and didn't think of anything. Not one thought, not one little subconscious word. Nothing, Evan. Nothing for 2 hours. It was bliss. I was like, this is fucking nirvana. This is just, I was like, what is going on? And at any point during the retreat, and a little bit when I got home, and even now, but there was like a superpower where at any point in the retreat, I could close my eyes or not. I could just stare at a fucking plant and there was nothing. And it was just this like cool, calm emptiness. And I didn't know how bad my brain needed that. It was just everything was just so wild and sporadic that to be able to just have a calm, empty mind for a couple hours or a couple days was fucking wild.
There's truly no better gift, man, that you can give yourself.
What's that?
There's no better gift you can give yourself is peace.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was beautiful. I went inside. A couple people were eating. I sat down on a chair and I feel like I might have been probably a little silly to some of the other people because I sat down on a chair and I was like, I feel like this is the first time I've ever sat on a chair. Like I just sat on a chair, right? In this big comfortable chair, and it just sat, and I was like, I'm sitting in a chair, just being comfortable in this chair, and just stared at the fan for like 10 minutes, and didn't think about the past, didn't think about the future, didn't think about now, just was. And I just sat in this chair. I was like, this is the first chair I've ever sat in, and Spencer was like, yeah, man, you're going to have a lot of those, and it was great. It was just like, that's where it really showed me like, just, how to just kind of be and simplify things, it was just a fucking great day. We went for a hike and a walk, and I had all these superpowers, and I felt amazing. And, had the rest night, and I was ready for the next night. I was all smiles. I felt like Superman. I was like, we got all that shit out. Me and Iboga are buddies now. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have, a second night, and it'll probably be a little bit more mellow. And even if it's not, it's okay, but I highly doubt it's going to be as bad as the first night. No. It was just as bad. It was just, they weren't done. I had a lot of shit left. Yeah. And they just had to get everything out. And they, they went in and they did it. It was another really rough night. Pretty much just the same. And I was a little bit more accepting of it, but it was still extremely hard. But it wasn't done with me, and got through that night, and then, did the ceremony and left everything behind, and had a really hard time sleeping. So by the time I got home, I was kind of delirious. I was kind of pretty in a wacky fucking spot because I don't think I really slept that much over the last 3 or 4 days, and got home and finally got some rest. And, things had just changed. Like I said, I was just waking up at 8 or going to bed at 8, waking up at 5, and have a new just outlook where I just accept things and I don't fucking care about things until they're literally in front of me. This podcast is the only thing that matters right now. Yeah. When I have conversations, I felt like I had the like when I was there at the retreat, when I was talking to the other people there, I feel like it was some of the first conversations I've ever had with human beings, because before I'd be having a conversation with you, but I'd be thinking about tomorrow, and I'd be thinking about yesterday, and I'd be thinking about what's in the other room, and I'd be thinking about how does my chain look? How does is my hair? How do you know what I'm saying? Like all this other shit. And I would just looking these people in the eyes, hearing what they said and enjoying what they were saying, whether it was something cool or just chit chat. Mm-hmm. But I was like, fuck, this is what it's like to have a conversation, to be present in a conversation, so all I wanted to do was just go home and be with my kids and be with my wife and reconnect.
How was
you
that?
know, and it was fucking fantastic. Well, once I got some sleep, and it was just like, I never played with my kids. I never played with them. I went through the motions, but I didn't play with them. I didn't push my daughter on the swing. I went through the motions, but I didn't go push my daughter on the swing.
Yeah.
I looked at my phone and I thought about work and I did all this and fucking 45 minutes. But now I'm like, like everything sounds fun to me. I was telling my friends, man, you want me to come over and help you clean your garage? All right. You want me to come over and clean your dog shit? I'll come over there and pick it up. It sounds fun. It sounds fun. We're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like now I'm just happy to be alive and to like actually be there for my kids and be there for my wife. And it's not that I wasn't, I wanted that person was in there.
Yeah.
But my mind was getting in the way and all these other things were getting in the way, and like your brother was saying, like Western culture, we just fucking have it backwards, man. And we just poison ourselves and we beat ourselves down and we just do everything so wrong to where it's like your mind is in control, not your soul. And your mind shouldn't be in control. And I get that now. You know, like my mind is such a crazy batshit little guy and he's going to try and protect me at all costs. And he has so many other things to do that everything's going to get fucking wonky, but my soul knows the true north, and if I just put him, who I'm more aligned with, and they're not like they're competing, but when we let like my soul drive, the what's good for me is a lot more easy to do. And it just knows better. And it doesn't get as complicated. The mind, I feel like the mind likes to complicate things. So it's just, one of my favorite things that your brother was saying was we like to add when we have problems over here. You have a problem, you don't feel well, you get a yoga, you go sign up for yoga, you go get a therapist, you go get a nutritionist, you go to your doctor, you get pharmaceuticals, you get big, you just add, you're trying to fix something by adding all these things, and the Bwiti just start taking things away. Yeah. And that makes so much sense to me now. You have a problem? Well, just start taking shit away until it goes away. Yeah. Like less, just so much less. And I think the way I was living and the way that we live, I was just filling myself up with a bunch of bullshit and darkness and poison. And I have to be true to my nature. And I don't do well with all of these things that we just fill our fucking bodies and our brains with. I've always known that. Like, even my talk therapist before, you have a very fragile ecosystem. And I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive to a lot of things. I'm a sensitive person. Sure. And I'm sensitive to things that go in my body. I was talking to my brother. He's not. He's the opposite, which is cool. He even felt bad. He was like, man, that sucks. So your highs are really high and your lows are really low. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, mine aren't. He's like, I'm always just kind of here. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's beautiful though. I don't feel bad about that. But there's different type of people and you got to live in your nature. And I've been fighting against my nature since I was 5. Sure. And now I've accepted it, and that's where being vigilant and kind of being more aware and doing the work to kind of make to work just what works for me, do the work to like really stay where I'm at now, and the one big billboard moment that Iboga gave me was, I wrote it down and I was absolutely bawling when I wrote this down. I'm only going to do things that make me proud to be me. And that's it. If it doesn't make me proud to be me, I'm not going to do it. And it's very easy on this side to say that. Before, it would be very hard for me. Sure. Because I was stuck in that people pleasing and that, lying to make people like me, or people pleasing to make people like me, or acceptance. And now I don't. I'm sorry, I don't care. If it doesn't make me proud to be Jared Watson, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. If it doesn't honor me, then I'm not going to do it.
So were you able to journey? Like, did you have questions written down that you were able to ask and get answers to?
I was so we tried.
Yeah.
We tried, and it was not agreeing with.
Was that disappointing for you? Did you feel discouraged by that at all, or no?
Oh, no, because I wasn't because those answers came later. They came on the
rest day.
on the rest day.
Yeah.
They came when I was journaling, and I've never journaled. I was even talking shit on journaling. Oh, I'm gonna fucking go up there and journal.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I don't fucking journal.
Yeah.
All this. I got up there and started writing shit down, and it was just like my hand was going, and it was just like answer, question, answer. It was just like boom, 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 and they were all so simple.
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't discouraging. I think just the place I was in when I walked in to the retreat, Iboga had a plan for me, and it wasn't the normal plan.
Well, it's normal, and it's normal for you, and so
Right.
A lot of people go in to this experience. People that have listened to other people's stories, and everyone's very attached to the idea of having visions. Like, I want to have the visions. I can't wait to have the visions. I want to see everything. And some people really don't have visions, and some people really don't journey at all. And some people go in and, like you said, have hell experiences and just hate it, and then walk away, go home, and then all of the answers come to them, and they have this like incredible unfolding. So, just anyone who's out there who's listening, you can't, if you end up doing Iboga at some time, don't have any expectation. Just
No.
trust in the way that the medicine is meant to interact with your particular personality and body type.
Yeah, this is going to it sounds so weird for people to listen to me and tell them how terrifying my experience was and how hard it was. Like, it sounds so weird for me to say. It was the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It was the greatest adventure I've ever been on.
Yeah.
And it was also the greatest thing that I could have done for me, for my family, for my friends, for my band. Like, I'm smiling right now. And I was like, I'm never going to do this again. I want to go home. This is fucking crazy. What am I doing up here? Like I said, I will do it. I would do it 100 times again. If you told me it was even harder, if you told me it got harder every time, I would still do it.
I think it would actually be easier if you did it again.
I actually want to do it again.
Yeah.
I don't think this is coming from me. I think this is coming from the Iboga. I want to do one more night, and I don't. There's an overwhelming call to go back and do one more night.
Yeah.
And I think it might have to do with the fact that I did it did what it needed to do those first 2 nights, and it was a lot of work for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I can go back and have one more night and like maybe get to that point where I can ask it some questions, or I don't know. It
Sure.
doesn't feel like me or my soul asking for that. It feels like Iboga's like, dude, you gotta come up one more.
Well, there's
time
more
and
to the
do it.
story, and we talked about this in our first podcast, is that the shiny object that leads you in is, oh, you're an addict. You got to get clean. And you go and you have your experience, and it got you clean, and it showed you and it healed you. But really, in my heart and intuition, I know there's more. And what that is obviously not for me to decide or to ponder. But I believe that the medicine, the reason it specifically wanted you is because of your charisma and influence. Not to use you, but to heal as many people as it can, because that's what Iboga wants. Iboga wants to heal people. Iboga wants people to feel the love in their heart for their life. It wants them to love their life and give themselves what they deserve, which is self-acceptance and love. It wants to heal the world. I believe the world is changing at an incredible rate. Iboga Rebirth is the name. Rebirth is also the name of our festival we just did. And I believe the earth is going through its own rebirth. And I believe that people like you and I are pushing that envelope. You made a post about your Iboga retreat online. My brother's had dozens and dozens and dozens of people calling him. Think of the amount of joy you're going to bring into people's lives, bro, by healing yourself. All you're doing is healing yourself and loving yourself, and you're changing the world doing it, dude.
Yeah. And it's cool. It's before I would have either felt insecure about that, or I would have fed off of it. And now it's just, it's just such an acceptance of like, good. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
I like, everybody needs to do Iboga. Like I said, like I have chats with my friends and I'm like, man, you need Iboga. You need Iboga. If everybody did Iboga, it wouldn't be that like it's this wonderful, beautiful world that it would turn into, because it's not about that. It's about you. Yeah. Right. And that's the biggest gift that I think Iboga gave me, was that it's not about everybody else. It's just about me and me. That's it. That's all. It's a paradox forever. Yeah. Like that's all that matters. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my friends, but they are secondary in the healthiest way. Yeah. To me, and it has to be that way, bro. Yeah, it has to. And if everybody kind of thought about that, it felt that way or thought that way, the world would be a better place. And I hope my friends go up there and get some healing and self-acceptance is fucking hard, and Iboga is, when your brother said Iboga only works in truths and facts, it's an understatement. And to look at yourself and have that like really, really truthful self-assessment is hard at first, but then it's not. You think you're going to see all these flaws and you're going to hate yourself, and no, because it lets you know why you've done all those things. And then it just like, I don't know how many goddamn analogies I've come up with. You have a brand new computer, it takes your old computer and it wipes the computer clean. Or you have a fucking house full of garbage that you've been hoarding, trash bags and dead possums and fucking cans of Cheerio or, SpaghettiOs and just all this. And it just comes in and it cleans the entire house and it gives it a fresh coat of paint. And it's just an empty, beautiful home. And you are at the point where you're like, what do I want to fill this home with? Yeah. What do I want to put back in my computer? What do you want to give your smooth baby brain with our brains all folded and has these pathways that we've gone for, thousands of times and thinking about all these things. And now it's just fucking a blank canvas, whatever analogy you want to go with. I just really feel that Iboga just goes in and fucking, it's what I told my friends, man, I'm going up to Bend to do a hard reset. And it is exactly what the fuck that it is. It is a hard fucking reset. And it gives you the chance to go in and just choose what you want from the get-go. Like it's fucking beautiful, man. Like it's like I said, I'm lucky to have been given that gift. And that you reached out, and that I feel so lucky that I was able to do Iboga. Well, I felt that way about any other psychedelic. There's no mistakes, man. And it's the Iboga spirit is an other dimensional being with intelligence beyond what we can comprehend, and it knows what's already happened in our lives. And so it knew that you were going to have the experience that you're going to have. Yeah. And, I believe that there's different kinds of people. I think most people are the kind that would go, oh, I'm having some kind of issue in my life, or, oh, I'm really curious about this and I want healing. And they go and do Iboga, they get their healing, they go home, they go back to their lives. Right. I'm not that one. And I think me and you are similar in the sense that I had that experience and I was like, yo, this is my homie, and
I got work to do with my homie. And so like I went and did my first retreat, and the second I walked out of there, I couldn't wait to do my second one, bro. And after I did my second one, I couldn't wait to do my third one, which is what I just did. This past week, I just did my pre-initiation. And I think the people who it calls back are someone who there's a deeper soul connection there. There's some kind of predestined work that you have in that realm.
I can definitely feel that. And I think that's why I want to go up and do another retreat. And I don't want people to think that this is something that, this could be the addict talking and looking for that euphoria.
It's
again.
the farthest thing from it.
It feels, everything feels resolved. All the trauma, like I said, it happened to me, but it's no longer a part of me. That's not it. There seems like something is unfinished. There just seems like there's something unfinished in the best way.
Yeah.
Like I still haven't learned all I need to learn, or I still haven't gotten all that I need to get out of Iboga. So, and I don't know why one night, I would be fine to do 2 nights, but it's not telling me to do 2 nights. It's telling me to go back up and do one night.
After you do I don't think
because it's easier or anything. Like I said, I'd do 5 nights in a row. I don't give a fuck. Like that's how,
after you do the psycho-spiritual, which is the week long with the 2 journeys, then you can go and do a one-off. Yeah. I'm really excited. I'll wait whenever the time is right. Yeah. But now I'm just enjoying life, and I just feel so much more confident. Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. I'm really proud of myself.
You deserve it, man. We all deserve it, but you deserve it.
Yeah, everybody deserves it. I was so proud of, there was 5 of us, and I was so fucking proud of every single person up there. I was like, look at what we just fucking did, you guys. This was amazing, like this was really fucking hard for a lot of us.
Yeah.
And I was just really proud of everybody and really proud of myself. And I don't say that a lot. I don't think I've ever said that. I don't think I've ever said I've been proud of myself, because there was something about not being proud of the grind of like, well, I'm not finished.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you did a good job. No, I can be better.
Yeah.
Well, the band's doing well. No, the band's not doing that great. We can be as big as XYZ.
Yeah.
We need to be doing no, man. I'm fucking proud of myself, man.
Yeah.
My friend said, do a text message. Said, wow, you really do seem like a new person. I just text back because I love myself now. That's it.
That's new.
I love myself now. I feel more, I can tell somebody no to their fucking face, and I don't feel bad. I'm not saying no because it's malicious. I'm not saying no because I'm an asshole. I'm not saying no because I'm selfish and I don't want you to do. I'm saying no because I'm confident in my own skin to know that I don't want to waste your time or my time. And I know that's not, like I said, it's not making me proud to be me or whatever. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with problems anymore, man. Mm-hmm. I'll deal with it when it happens.
Sure.
And before I used to just if we had a tour in January, it's November, I'd be thinking about that tour every day until it got there.
Yeah.
If I had a show this weekend or next weekend, I'd be thinking about it until that show got there. I'd be churning my fucking stomach into knots every fucking day until that show got there. And then the show would play, or we'd play the show, and then I'd get done and I'd have like a night, maybe a night or a day of like, oh, okay. And then Monday or Tuesday would come up and what do I have to worry about?
Yeah. What's the next thing to fuck with myself about?
I don't do that anymore. Whatever is going to happen, we're going to, I'm not going to worry about it until it's happening to me.
You said something that really I can really identify with, is that you never had that self-love for yourself. And so you kind of were seeking it through external appreciation, love, people showing you love and appreciation for your music. And that's something that I can really identify with, because I had the exact same experience through my Iboga retreat, where it kind of showed me the ways in which I was trying to fill my cup externally, a cup that could only be filled by myself. I was always looking, seeking, when really it was all inside, right?
Right.
And then going back into my life, I had to reestablish my relationship with my band and music. It's like, it wasn't the same. And I came back, and we pretty like 2 or 3 weeks after went into a tour. We did a tour with Natalie Rise we did like 20 dates or something through the Midwest. And, and it was weird. I didn't get the same feeling from playing shows anymore. You know, I used to get this feeling of like, self-admiration and like this real deep satisfaction. And I got that 0%, nothing. I'd play a show and be like, okay, I guess that's done now. No change, right? And it was fucking with me. I was like, why is this happening? What is this? And really my fear was that like, I just actually don't really even like playing music. You know, and that was all just some ego thing I was doing, and I'm actually meant to do something else, right? And so when I ended up doing my second Iboga retreat, I asked it. I said, why don't I get the same feeling anymore from playing shows? And it responded, if it ain't for healing, it ain't worth feeling. And I was like, what the fuck? My higher self speaks in rhymes, apparently.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Because I'm not going on stage and going, I'm going to play this music that's beautiful. It's going to heal people. What I was doing is I'm going on stage and jumping around and dancing and singing and hoping people like me. Come on, we want more fans. We're amazing. Look at us, right? And if it ain't for healing, it ain't worth feeling. And so that shifted it to where it's just like something that I know, but I hadn't really integrated, to where now it's when I play a show, it's like, it's for the purpose of healing. It's for the purpose of feeling life and sharing magic with people's hearts, you know? And that shit gets me. And so it's kind of this restructuring. So have you played a show since?
No, we haven't played a show, but I have got with guys. I actually went to lunch with one of the guys, and yeah, there was just an overwhelming sense of reconnecting with the guys on a different level, you know? And just like, I feel like the big word is just, I can accept things for what they are now, you know, and just acceptance of the band and acceptance of where we are and acceptance of the relationships we have. And
you
just
guys
being
are doing
proud
great,
and happy. And like, yeah. And like kind of just having fun, you know, like I used to worry a lot about the band all day, every day. And I thought as long as I was worrying about it, that was part of the work, right? Like as long as I'm worrying about this, that's like part of the hustle. Like, you know, I need to worry about this all the time, because if I'm not worrying about it, then I'm being lazy. Right. And I don't. We had practice, and I would worry about practice, and I would, until we got to practice, and, you know, anxiety and all that shit. And then when I get to practice, and it'd be over. And now I just get to go and enjoy practice with my friends, you know, and enjoy the music. Yeah. And I went and I sat there and I sang the songs, and I was singing them a little less, like it was just more comfortable and with a little bit more ease. And just like, just enjoying it more, you know? So now I don't know if pressure is the right word or what, but I'm looking forward to the next show, but also I'm in a spot to where I don't think about the next show. Yeah. You know, and the next show is a big show. It's Cali vibes. Yeah. No, it's actually, it's Reggae Rise Up in Florida. Nice. And I know myself, so I'm not going to fall back into that habit of worrying about the show until I play it. I'm not going to think about the show. Much better until I show up in Florida and I walk on stage, and then I'm going to enjoy that show, and I'm going to get off stage, and then I'm not going to think about shows until I play the next show. You know, it's just like this cool it's making it more fun,
Yeah.
or I think it's going to be more fun for me. And I think I'm going to be more present on stage, because it's not one of those things where I never was waiting for it to be over. Because once you step foot on stage, I kind of get I don't think, it just go, I just go. And I love live shows, and at one point I didn't like live shows, and it was kind of this big part of my life that gave me anxiety. And now I just I accept it for what it is, and I'm just kind of excited to go up and have fun. That's like a lot of this shit that we're talking about it's very deep and kind of heavy. But there's a lightness to Iboga too. And the teachings that your brother was telling us, at the end of it, it was just like, have fun, we can talk about all this dark shit and all this heavy stuff and all this, but like, you're alive, and that's a great gift. So yeah, life is going to be hard sometimes, and life is going to be fun sometimes, and life is going to be this and that and all these other things. But like, really just appreciate being alive, and like, if you can, just have a fucking good time, man.
Yeah.
Because it's short, and you're lucky to be here. And that really resonated with me, and it kind of puts me in my place when I'm just like, yeah, just pump the fucking brakes. Like I said, like my superpowers have seemed to wear off, but I still feel happy.
Sure.
If I have a little bit of anxiety, it's okay. I'm still on the surface. I'm still happy. Like there's just I don't even know how to say. I don't even know how to explain it. I just feel like it's what I was looking for with drugs, alcohol, and the other things. Like I can just accept having a little bit of anxiety, or accept not having a good day, or accept that this is hard, or accept that that's hard. When I got home from Iboga, something happened in my personal life that was pretty hard. Somebody close to me was going through a really hard time.
Yeah.
And I would have usually thought, oh man, or I started thinking, oh man, why is this happening right now? I'm in such a good spot. This is going to ruin it. This is going to fuck up my Iboga thing. This is going to make Iboga wear off. And then, I was like, I didn't even think it. It just came in. It was like, wrong way to think about this. This is the best time for that to happen. This is
an opportunity for you to apply what you've been given.
Yeah, I'm in such a good spot that I can deal with this and help this person get through this, because I'm accepting of it. Just what I wasn't freaking out about it, and you're going this and then you're just gonna ruin us. No, let's just deal with what's happening right now, and I'm here for you, and I'm gonna help you, and everything's all good. And everything was all good. It was just like it was like I got home and immediately was like, here you go. How are you gonna deal with this? And it was just so nice to be able to have a quiet mind, have a peaceful mind, take things as they came, and just accept them. And that was really cool. So that's where I'm at. I'm just at a place of acceptance with my band, with playing shows, with my family, with my friends. There's just no point in worrying about shit unless it's, I think we were talking about the cheetah or the hyena or some shit like that, like a watering hole, like so I can't remember because I was kind of fucked up, but like, don't worry about the tiger until you see the tiger. You can think the tiger's in the grass all day long, so you can walk around, you can go through life in fight or flight, and just always looking for the tiger. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of energy until you see the tiger. Be like, oh shit, tiger, what should I do? Oh shit, problem. Okay, let's fix this problem. But until the problem gets here, I'm not worried about it. And that is a huge gift for somebody that has my mind and had my habits and had the way that I, it made me realize that I had been in fight or flight since I was 5. Maybe not at level 10, but it was that switch, the fight or flight switch had been turned on when I was around, 5, clicked on, never clicked off, never turned off.
Yeah.
And Iboga went in and just, hey, dude.
Hey, buddy, you left your light on.
That off for a second. Yeah, you're okay. You're fine. And I was just like, holy shit, I am fine. I am safe. I'm okay. I can take care of myself. It's heavy, man. It was fucking awesome. Yeah. I can't say anything more other than just it was a gift. It was a huge gift, and it was exactly what I needed. And of course it was exactly what I needed, because it fucking had to go through the galactic DMV to get to your ass, to get to my ass. And, the intelligence of plant medicine is just so crazy, because dude, I fucking called it a long time ago. Is I did DMT5-MeO, and it gave me a glimpse into a lot of these things. It did. I felt them. I saw it was the little white lies when I was people pleasing, talking to people, a couple things, and it made me feel good for a little while, but wore off. I went right back to my old habits. And I always felt like something was really unfinished. And when you reached out to me, I was like, man, these are all connected. Like, all these plant medicines are connected. And Greg at the fucking DMV window, or the DMT, galactic DMV window, was like, okay, I dealt with Jared. There's not much more I can do. So we're going to write a piece of paper,
move this on up,
put it in the mail chute, fucking foop it up the mail chute. It's going to go to the Iboga guys. And they're going to be like, okay, we got it. How do we get a hold of them? It's just like this galactic fucking network to where they're like, well, you did what you could do for him, but now he needs to come and see us, because we got some stuff that we can do for him. And I'm glad that I got up there and got to do it, man. I can't thank you enough. Can't thank you enough.
It wasn't me, man. I just listen, I'm curious, have you had any thoughts about drugs since you've been back?
Yeah. That was a little spooky at first when I had some cravings.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, what? I think with my mind, I think a lot of people, you need to be aware of this, is that Iboga isn't going to fix everything. It's going to fix a lot. Like, trust me, it's going to fix a fucking lot. It is going to help you. For me, it resolved a lot. Like, the majority of things, right? So that's easy to want to be a lazy human and be like, oh, Iboga is just going to do everything for me.
Yeah.
And no, you do have to come home and be vigilant and realize that, life is life, and you're going to have good days and bad days, and you're not like a superhuman, right? So I had these cravings, and it spooked me, and I, kind of made me sad. Oh no, I thought this was going to fix everything.
Sure.
I thought this was going to, take care of everything. And I was never going to have a craving ever again in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just unrealistic, right? What I noticed is that they were very fleeting, like extremely fleeting, a lot easier to kind of swipe away,
sure,
or just kind of think past. But then there was an overwhelming urge of, I know that isn't the path I'm supposed to go down anymore. So like acceptance, like I said, it's a lot easier for me to have the craving and go, oh, there's a craving. No. And then move on. And since then, it has been, very far and few. Very, very far and few. And obviously I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not taking pills anymore. I'm like, I came home from Iboga and it worked. I didn't get back on the wagon, and I don't have any plans to do so.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he said, like, I was going up there for that, but that was
just the tip of the iceberg, dude.
Kind of the smallest part of what I actually needed.
It's crazy how it reframes it.
Because the drinking and using, that problem had a root. So it got to the root, not the surface. It wasn't just clipping, little fucking drugs and alcohol. Okay, this is, it's like, no, this is why you did that. This is why you felt that way. This is why you needed to escape. Everything was escape. Sex, drugs, every time I used, all I was trying to do was turn that flight or flight switch off.
Yeah.
It was a little escape from who I was running from, the anxiety, all that shit.
Yeah.
The big thing that I noticed that is absolutely wild, and this is why I say gift, is that my anxiety and my depression, I mean, almost completely gone. I don't want to say gone, because life is life and I'm a human being, and you should have a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah,
You should have a little bit of normal worry, right? I think I'd be weird if I just didn't care about anything, right? But that uncontrollable, pointless anxiety that I just lived with, that I was so comfortable with, that my brain just got in that neural pathway.
Everybody knows what that feels like. Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. And especially for the first couple of weeks, it was not there. Like you guys said, like you could go home and you might feel like a little superhuman for a while. I was fucking felt like a superhuman, but it was great because it set me into these habits that now I love.
But also, dude, that what it's showing you in that time when you feel superhuman, it's showing you what you are truly capable of.
Right.
It's that is you, and you can, if you follow this path and stick with it and remain vigilant. I mean, that is an achievable everyday human reality for yourself that you can achieve.
I agree, because the majority of the time, even now, because I can feel a difference in being so heightened when I got home, and still having the medicine in me. And I know the medicine stays for 6 months, but it was overwhelming. It was still like the medicine was kind of like giving me this boost. And now I feel like it's really just kind of me now. I know the medicine's in me, but I can still feel the majority of days that I wake up. I'm happy, whether it's a hard day or a easy day or an exciting day. It's easier for me to get back to where I want to be. Before, if I got off the tracks, it was really hard for me to get back on. And now it's a lot easier for me to get back to feeling the way that I did when I got home from Iboga. It doesn't take more than half a day or
welcome to the club, man.
So there is a lot of days, like the 90% of the time I'm waking up feeling fucking fantastic, feeling great, feeling grateful. Grateful is wild. I was never grateful because I had no compassion, because I don't, I couldn't be grateful. My therapist, do you have any compassion for yourself? I'd say, no. Can you be grateful for what you have? No, no. I just couldn't. Well, you have a nice house and a healthy family, and then these things and fans, and they were just did that. Nope. And now I have a feeling of being grateful. I'm very grateful.
Gratitude's magic, bro, and it's what snaps you right into your heart space. Like really, truly being grateful and loving your life puts you right in your heart space, and that's the place. That's the magic place, man.
Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Yeah, you're gonna help a lot of people, bro. Just by, you have a large sphere of influence, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother.
So one thing that I wanted to say is, so when I had my first retreat and it told me to reach out to Jared Watson, I asked Iboga. I said, "What should I say to Jared?" And it told me to say this: flowers always grow in the bloom.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? And in my head, what I thought it said was, well, that's a song. And so I guess what I assumed was that was something that had some significance to you, that me saying that to you would somehow go, oh my God, he's reading my mind or something like that, right? But I said that to you and you didn't, you haven't, that means nothing to you, right?
Right. Yeah. Me and your brother even talked about it when I was at the retreat. He's like, oh, does that mean anything? I said, no, man.
Yeah.
I said, well, go ahead and ask Iboga. And I went in and tried and there was nothing. It was just,
So I did my pre-initiation. ceremony this week, which is essentially me 1 foot into the tribe. So I'm a part of the Bwiti tribe now. Technically, the Bwiti ancestors they got my back. You know, I'm protected by them. They came and visited me and
That's
stuff.
cool as fuck. It's
cool as fuck, and it's a whole different level of. In the beginning of me going, oh my God, everyone, Iboga, it's fucking amazing. Listen to this. Da-da-da. And now I'm just like totally like reserved and like in my power and like chilling. You know, it's this different kind of like, it's like very mature version of it. But I asked them I guess my higher self, my soul, what that meant. Flowers always grow in the bloom. And they said it's a song that you and I are supposed to create.
I'm in. I'm fucking in. I would love to. I'm 100%.
It's crazy,
in.
Right?
Yes, I listen. I will listen.
Yeah,
they were right the first time.
It's wild that there's something out there that knows either knows what we're gonna do or somehow is orchestrating what we're gonna do. It's fucking bizarre, dude.
It is. This is wild. Like it is. It was the first adventure I've gone on that I was really able to feel like it was an adventure because I was really present.
Yeah.
You know, all the in it, and it makes me want to be sad, but I can't be sad because I love who I am at this point. And if I had changed anything, I would be a different person at this point, right? But like my vacations and my adventures and like I never got to truly, truly enjoy them because there was always this anxiety and there was always this fight or flight. And now I was like, man, this is a fucking adventure. And now I'm excited to go on more adventures. Like everything sounds more appealing to me now. Like we're going to Kauai in 2 days to go visit some friends for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And I've been to Kauai for Thanksgiving to visit these friends numerous times. And I feel like I'm going for the first fucking time. And I'm just so excited to live and see things through these eyes, my eyes, without my fight or flight on, without all this darkness and tar and gunk inside of me, like to be this light and go get to live through life is really cool. So to go up and write a song and we already have the title and like, it sounds fun. Like I said, you could ask me to come up and fucking paint your shed and I'd be like, oh, come up and paint your shed, you want to come up and write some songs? Fuck yeah. And especially one that Iboga was kind of like telling us to lean into.
It's
like,
got a hand
hey,
in.
I listened the first time and it did me right. I'll listen the second time.
Well, so Iboga showed me on our very first retreat. I understand we're going way over our time here, but we'll wrap this up in a second. What Iboga showed me on my first retreat is I don't know if you've seen the Indubiously leaf man. That's like our logo, right? So we've had this. This is like an artist rendition of it.
That's cool.
So that's been like our little logo for many years, for 15 years since the beginning. And it showed me that in my vision, and I instantly, because it gave me like a psychic download, this is us. I was like, what? That's Iboga. The whole time I never knew what it was. That's a visual representation of Iboga. It's got the same kind of leaves on it. And it says, we've been with you from the start. You've always wondered where your music comes from, where your music is channeled from. It's from us, buddy. We've been homies. And check it out. We traveled 20 years back in the past to deliver this image to you so you could maintain advertising congruency.
That's fucking
what
wild.
The fuck? And so I guess that it's still even hard for me to accept that there's a place where our music and messages come from that is from this dimension where this wise plant medicine exists. Still figuring it out, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's been talks on other podcasts that I've listened to with comedians, artists, musicians, and they talk about where inspiration comes from. Where do these random things come from, right? Like, I think about it all the time. Like, you'll know when you write certain songs, some songs you got to pull them out. You got to really sit down and work on them and write them and rewrite them. And other times I will literally just sit here and somebody will play a chord. So the song Island Glow, right? It's on our new album. It's doing really well. It's this pirate song. We had some ideas, but Ryan played some chords and he was playing the guitar. Yeah. And within 5 seconds, I started singing a melody and every word came out. Yeah. And he looked at me and was like, that's the chorus. And I was like, those are scratch vocals. And he was like, no, they're not. And I was like, no. You're right. No, they're not. And that was the hook. And I'm like, where the fuck does this shit come from? I wasn't even thinking. I just went, oh, cool chords. I'm again, stuck on an island, skeletons are all that I know. Then I was like, what? They just boom. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So it's like, it's wild to think about where those things come from. And you know, I love spiritualism. I love religion. I love conspiracy theory shit. I love cryptozoology. I love all these crazy things, psychedelics, I love it, but I'm pretty fucking skeptical, right? I've always been, if I don't see it, if I can't feel it, if I can't do it, I don't believe it. And so far with Iboga and all the other psychedelics, like it's too everything. It's like, oh, happening. You like evidence? Well, here you go. Try this out. How's that? Like, it's a perfect, that mental, that skepticism is what makes the most truest believers with this medicine, because it shows you and gives you proof like you cannot believe. Yeah, it's fucking wild. So it's like, I don't think shit's wild anymore. I mean, it's fun. I think it's cool, but I'm like, yeah, I buy it, you know? One last thing that I think you'll think is really cool, because it's about music and we're chatting about music, is that, so the first day that I kind of had a rough day, I woke up and I didn't feel that great. And I had been waking up feeling the best I've ever felt. Sure. So when that happened, I was sad. I was like, what the fuck? Oh no, Iboga left me and I don't have my superpowers anymore. And why is this like that? And why aren't this perfect human being that nothing affects? And so I was like kind of freaking out a little bit, which is fine. That's me. See, like I'm okay with that. Yeah, you know, exactly. That's in my nature. Acceptance. It's fine. I put on the music. I put back on the music, the Bwiti music. When I left, especially when I'm in it, you never want to hear the music again. Yeah. I never want to listen to this fucking music ever again in my life. I put the music on. One, I loved it. I was like, oh yes, this is fucking epic. It's so remember good, all of this. I put it on and I fucking swear to God, it reactivated everything. I didn't have to do breath work. I didn't have to do anything. Within 20 minutes, my day had changed. It might have just subconsciously brought me back to where I was when I was listening to the music, but also it just felt like it kind of reacted or you know, like kind of made the Iboga start working again. Yeah. And I've done that multiple times now. Just kind of used the music as like a place to kind of get back to where I want to be. Yeah. And it works every time. That's awesome. Yeah. The music is powerful, bro. I got some beats I want to send you, and we'll start kind of brainstorming whatever this intergalactic Iboga download we're going to get. Who knows? I guess this song already exists in some version, in some dimension, and we're just going to bring it through. Yeah, we'll see if we can just get what's already out there. Yeah. I think that's fucking epic. I think that's super cool. And it's cool to just kind of go in with no expectations and just see what comes out. And probably what comes out is what's supposed to come out. Yeah, man. You know? Thanks for coming on the podcast, bro. Of course. Thanks for having me. Thanks for getting me up with your brother. Thanks for everything. And, you know, we're here now. It is a pleasure, man. Welcome to the crew. Yeah, welcome to this side of it. I feel great, man. I'm super stoked. Ladies and gentlemen, Jared Watson. Love you, buddy. Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you soon. All right. See ya.
Whatever you focus upon becomes your truth.